Let's rewind over 1,000 years to southern Africa before Zimbabwe was a kingdom. Just Shona-speaking farmers and cattle herders living off millet, sorghum, and most importantly, cows. Cattle were the original status symbol. If you had herds, you had power. But things changed fast. Around the 11th century, in Mapungubwe, people discovered they were sitting on gold and started trading with Swahili coast merchants. Suddenly, these farmers became international traders, connecting Africa to Arabia, India, and China. Wealth brought new leaders and stone architecture, setting the stage for something bigger. By the 13th century, the Kingdom of Zimbabwe emerged, with Great Zimbabwe as its capital. The city's location was strategic, protected, fertile, and perfectly placed to control the gold trade. This wasn't just a village, it was a planned urban center, the heart of a powerful state. The rise of Zimbabwe proved a centralized African state could grow from local roots, not foreign conquest. They took their traditions and trading skills and built a political and economic powerhouse. It's a story of local innovation going global. No outside help needed. They looked at their resources and said, yeah, we can build an empire out of this. Hold my beer, or my gourd of traditional brew. The world was about to see what African ingenuity could do. And it all started with cows, gold, and a little ambition. Life in Great Zimbabwe depended on your status. At the top, the king, seen as semi-divine, ruling from the hill complex above everyone else. The king controlled trade, the military, and the city's wealth. Think CEO with ancestral connections. Most people lived below in family compounds, working as farmers, herders, and craftsmen. Women managed agriculture and pottery, men herded cattle and worked metal. The city buzzed with daily life, farming, crafts, and the ever-present cattle. Wealth was measured in cows, but international trade brought in luxury goods. Chinese porcelain, Persian ceramics, Indian beads. These imports were status symbols for the elite, showing off their global connections. The economy blended tradition and innovation, cattle for locals, gold for the world. Great Zimbabwe was both deeply rooted and surprisingly cosmopolitan. Imagine tending crops while the king inspects Ming porcelain, local meets global. It was a place where ancestral culture thrived alongside international commerce. The city's unique blend made it a standout in African history. Great Zimbabwe, where tradition met the world stage. Let's talk about the real showstopper, the stone ruins of Great Zimbabwe. The Great Enclosure is the largest ancient structure south of the Sahara, over 800 feet long, 36 feet high, built without mortar. Shona masons shaped granite blocks so precisely, the walls have stood for centuries. Was it a palace, fortress, or temple? Probably all three, a symbol of royal power. Inside stands the mysterious conical tower, likely a symbol of the king's duty to provide for his people. The city had three main areas: the hill complex, royal and religious center, the Great Enclosure, elite residence, and the valley ruins, where most people lived. The city's layout reflected its social hierarchy: power at the top, people below. For years, outsiders doubted Africans built these structures, inventing wild theories. Modern archaeology proved the Shona people were the true builders. These ruins are a testament to their skill, organization, and vision. They're more than stones, they're a symbol of African achievement. Great Zimbabwe's walls still stand as proof of a remarkable civilization. They inspire pride and awe, centuries after their builders are gone. The stones speak louder than any myth. If Zimbabwe had a motto, it'd be "Got Gold," because gold built the empire. The land was rich in gold, and mining was sophisticated and dangerous. The king controlled the gold trade, making him one of Africa's wealthiest rulers. Gold and ivory traveled overland to Swahili coast ports, then across the Indian Ocean to Arabia, India, and China. In return, Zimbabwe received luxury goods: Chinese porcelain, Persian beads, Middle Eastern ceramics. These weren't for everyone, only the elite flaunted these global treasures. Great Zimbabwe was a key player in a globalized medieval economy. Trade wasn't just about goods, it meant diplomacy, alliances, and cultural exchange. The kingdom maintained its identity while embracing outside influences. This global connection turned Zimbabwe from a regional power into an international phenomenon. Their gold reached far-off lands, linking Africa to the world. Zimbabwe wasn't isolated, it was at the heart of a global network, all thanks to that shiny yellow metal. For centuries, Zimbabwe thrived, until the Portuguese arrived in the late 1400s. Chasing gold and spices, they tried to cut out Swahili middlemen and control the trade. Their arrival brought cannons, forts, and conflict, disrupting established networks. Portuguese records give us biased glimpses of the kingdom, seeing it as a source of wealth, not a civilization. By then, Great Zimbabwe was already in decline. Overgrazing, depleted mines, and political strife had taken their toll. Power shifted to successor states like Mutapa and Torwa, founded by Zimbabwe's descendants. The Portuguese clashed with these new kingdoms, seeking dominance while African rulers fought to keep control. For a time, Mutapa kings held their own, playing rivals against each other, but Portuguese interference and firearms destabilized the region. This marked the start of a long, painful era of European involvement in Africa. Trade and partnership gave way to conquest and colonization. The world was changing, and not always for the better. History isn't just about empires, it's the details that bring it to life. Great Zimbabwe's soapstone birds, carved as bataleur eagles, are now national symbols, linking past and present. The stone walls curve with the land and feature decorative chevrons, proof the builders were artists as well as engineers. These touches show a culture that valued beauty and craftsmanship. Shona oral traditions tell of legendary founders like Nyatsimba Mutoda, who established new kingdoms and kept the memory of Zimbabwe alive. These stories, passed down generations, reveal cultural truths and values. Women played significant roles. Some evidence suggests the queen mother or senior wives held real power. The great enclosure may have been their residence and the conical tower a symbol of fertility. This wasn't just a kingdom of kings. Women shaped its politics and spirituality. The human stories behind the stones matter as much as the ruins themselves. Legends, art, and oral history keep Zimbabwe's spirit alive. The past isn't silent, it's full of voices if you know how to listen. And those voices still echo today. Why does an empire that faded 500 years ago still matter? Because Great Zimbabwe is a source of national and African pride. When Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, it took its name from this ancient kingdom. The ruins became a symbol of identity, resilience, and heritage. Shona culture, language, and art trace their roots to the kingdom's heyday. Modern artists draw inspiration from the stonework and soapstone birds. Great Zimbabwe teaches us about resourcefulness and the dangers of environmental mismanagement. Its decline warns us, even the greatest civilizations depend on a healthy environment. The ruins are a World Heritage Site, a treasure for all humanity. They challenge us to see African history in a new light. The stones of Great Zimbabwe remind us, greatness can rise anywhere and still inspire today.